$100. Okay, all right. So it's blue. It's a Huns War, it looks like. Now, whenever okay, just want to make sure you guys are seeing this. Whenever I analyze games, I don't reveal the map. I don't want to look at the other guy. I want to look at it from this guy's perspective, his POV. Huns War El Guanaco as he did ring the bell. That's fine. Some people do ring the bell to get their fills back quicker, especially if you're like Chinese or whatever. I don't, but I'm not I've never actually tested it to see if it works well. Okay, right away, this map is absolutely horrendous. Like, one thing I do like to check when people see how he clicked a little too early. He's got 11 food left on this, but what I do like is that he is clicking on his sheep, because 1700s, 1600s, maybe less, they just let their vills kill the next one on their own. But if you actually make sure you click on each sheep, you may end up getting like 50 extra food by the time feudal is, you're at like 22 pop. So good job. Good job. I'm going to call it, this is Crix. I don't know if, oh wait, maybe I shouldn't give away his name, but whatever. Crix. So good job, Crix. Four on wood. Oh man, this is like my style right here. Liking it. Excuse me. So right off the bat, with a map like this, man, like, this is terrible, man. This is like the only, it's so exposed. I'm not even sure what I would do with this. I'd probably just do a drush, or I would try and just keep the aggression on him, I think, to start off with. No, this is a recording. Lala. The first part is always usually not too much to talk about, but he's keeping his eco pretty well. I have noticed in a few other games that I've analyzed, sometimes people forget, like, there'll be 4 vills on one side. But this is actually a really good Dark Age so far. Let's go for the lane too. Hey, careful. Okay, I do kind of like that, because when you have such an exposed map like this, sometimes it's best, instead of building your barracks here or here, just to get it, jutted out a little further out here, because later, if you were to get town watch, it's going to give you that extra line of sight, and maybe you can connect it with the wall later. So good job so far. Going for a drush build. Now here's the thing. Right now, he's adding one to wood. He's adding a few woods, another vill to wood. Okay, let's see what happens here. There's 6 on wood. Sometimes when you add this many vills to wood at this early, this is the type of build you'll have where once you go up to feudal, you're gonna try and go up to castle age as well, because you're gonna be building a lot of farms. But I think this is okay. Let's see what happens. I think I'll still be able to get up. I think this is fine. Look at this. This is a really nice map. This map's like perfect compared to his map. Back gold, back wood. You can wall along here. Get military buildings out here. Getting loon. Yeah, you know what? This is fine. His eco's been so good. He's been like being super efficient on his food. But sometimes when you go a little bit too early, you can't get 500 food. But I mean, this is really nice actually. Yeah, this is really good. I would, at this point, maybe sneak in another lumber camp. You have the 100 wood, just get it in right now. I'll see what happens. Maybe he does. Because with this many villas, this is a little too much for one lumber camp. You're gonna lose some efficiency. And okay, another suggestion. Okay, guys, for a map like this, I don't know if he's gonna do this. Another option you have for a map like this is once you hit feudal, I would just get a tower on this gold, just whatever, just get one down there. And eventually you want to send maybe a villa or two to stone, and you're just going to tower each spot, each vulnerable spot. That's another way you can deal with such open maps like this. He's actually going to get in here? Wow. So, White didn't do the best job scouting, because most players would have something walled here. With such a nice map like this, there's no way you should be able to get a Drussian like this if you scout properly. But either way, he's in. That's good. People attack the boar twice because if you attack it once, the boar doesn't lock onto your veil and can walk back. So by hitting it twice, it will stick with you. You're adding more militia. Interesting. Not a bad idea, because since this is open, I mean, he's kind of bending over. It's going scouts. So yeah, getting that lumber. So Crix, later, when you do watch this, you did have the wood earlier. Just get that extra lumber in there. And then if you see scouts like this, if you see a stable, because you know your map's so open, I would almost suggest trying your best to get a few palisades, maybe actually getting this all walled in. It's just so open. But after you get the man-at-arms, maybe you could add some spears, because a scout's player like this sometimes will be able to wall off and you won't be able to get in with man-at-arms, and then he'll just run and he'll try and attack your eco. Let's see what happens. But another thing I want to say too is you were in such a good spot here earlier and then you left. Did he? Yeah, he didn't wall. You were in a really good spot. He didn't even wall. I'm not sure if you were worried about White building scouts, but I think you should have harassed. If I went back, I wish I went back. I could go back so I could see what happened, but you could have harassed his vills. I'm not sure what happened here. I think you just ran back and you came back here. But anyways. Yeah, need that second lumber. Either way, you're still in a nice spot. He didn't wall off anywhere. Didn't wall off here, didn't wall off here. So if you were to force a fight with these scouts, I wouldn't get too close in here yet, but maybe even add a spear. Yeah, perfect. Hey, nice job. You're actually doing really good. It's a lot of scouts though. But man-at-arms usually do really good against scouts. Like, this was still an awesome fight. Nice. Oh, a little bit of an idle TC. No biggie. So I'm just gonna keep an eye on that. Might have just been a one-time thing. I've fallen into a bad habit of sometimes not getting an exfil building. See, so maybe that was the issue, because I know you're wondering why you lost this game. Okay, you're building more vills again. He is ahead 2 vills. So he is ahead 2 vills, and you haven't lost a vill yet. So, yeah, that's maybe another thing is the focus. Make sure you don't idle the TC. Nice. Again, so not a big deal. You're actually doing fine. Getting maybe a wall in here, and then maybe a tower here, and then all you would actually need is just one spear for this spot right here. And then you can set a set point for archers right here. But you might be fine. Cause I gotta deal with this crap here. You're fine. Holy cow, dude. I can't see you losing this game. Okay. Yeah, this looks like a win. I mean, you got a huge advantage here. I'm keeping an eye on the TC. See the TC? It's idled again. Still idled, right? Still idled. Still. Okay, now you got, so that might be, you know, like losing a Vil, and maybe more if you add up all the other times. But you're still ahead in Vils. So I'm gonna suggest again, just a reminder, with a map like this, at this point in the game, like I mentioned earlier, this is probably the perfect time to get a Vil or two on stone, and then you start throwing up towers, because later it's just going to be so hard to defend everywhere against his raiding and archers and cav archers. But yeah, man, you're in such a good position right now. Still some idle, yeah, okay. Hey, look at that! Attaboy, I love it. But one thing I do notice here is there seems like there is a bit of an eco imbalance. Like right now, there just isn't enough Vils on food. I think, I'm not sure what happened. But usually when I'm going up to Castle Age at this point, usually, you know, this is filled, there's one here, maybe another here, maybe another, there's a few more farms. Wait, where is your tower? Okay, you got it there, nice. Yeah, I think something happened with your eco. There was probably some idle time with the TC, you know, just having the one lumber camp. This can all add up and affect your eco a little bit. Because right now, I think your resources aren't that terrible, but you might be able to get up with a little bit more. You want to at least be able to get your archer upgrade, your bodkin, and your lumber camp. If you aren't able to get those while you're going to castle at 23-minute castle time, then maybe there was something going on with your eco. Okay, so right now, you're up earlier. At this position, I think I would have had my army, since there's a tower here, I would have had my army here, and then with that extra stone, I would have built a tower here, and then I would have sent my army out by now. And I think my army would have been around here, because you're up earlier, and you could actually totally cash in on this and get some good kills, because you're going to be able to get the extra range, and you have crossbows. This is defended. You can take a chance, you know, maybe he'll come here with archers, but most people run back. You're definitely taking a chance, but it's worth it because, I mean, you're mining stone. So right now, you are a little bit. So wouldn't you have had army on top of Gold Hill, like this one, like I just mentioned, like this gold? Like as I'm going up, I think I would have. Yeah, I would have had the whole army here, and then if that's what you're saying, and then because this is fine here, this is covered. And then maybe you might as well use up that stone and get this covered, because this map is horrible. You just got to play it safe by range for blue. Yeah, like right here, right? Oh, up here. Okay, yeah. That's better. But yeah, if you could just imagine being here just a little bit earlier too, maybe you would have been able to. By the deer? Oh yeah. What is he doing? He white. Ooh. Yeah, so just again a reminder. You are still ahead. Wait a second, he's ahead in Vils. You didn't lose any Vils. Yeah, you didn't lose any Vils. Remember, if anything, remember he lost Vils, right? So that would be key to take home from this is again the TC, but I'll maybe stop mentioning that. Because if you just look at the Vils there, He's ahead by 6 now, right? It's really going to add up. And it's like you're playing so well with like your builds and military, but just that idle time, and you kind of trap yourself here. Oh, did he have? Yeah, so that's a huge takeaway for this, is the keeping an eye on that TC. What you can do, a lot of players do have a, they do, see, it's still idle, see? They do set a hotkey for their TC, so if you're microing over here, you can hit the hotkey, and then you can build the veil, but it doesn't necessarily mean, like, you won't go back to your TC. And the thing is, did you get your lumber upgrade? The second one? No, not the achievements. Second lumber upgrade. I don't think you did, because it should be light green, right? So you got this one, but I think you missed the bow saw. Yeah. So that's gonna have a huge effect on your game if you don't get it anytime soon. So yeah, you lost. I think the exchange, whatever happened with that archer army, it seemed like he got away with, you know, a huge win on that. I think you kind of trapped yourself in there. Again, see? So this could be used for raiding. And I think you have it here because you're probably worried about, you know, this spot here. But again, a tower would solve this. So yeah, this is where you'd want to be doing raiding. Being a little too passive like this is... Yeah. So yeah, you notice your lumber camp upgrade will actually, it will affect you big time. So yeah, go for the raid. Spend too much time here. Thank you for the loot. Oh, I never read my loots. I never read them. Oh, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Yeah, huge build difference. Let's check the TCs here. So you just killed this army, right? You just killed this army. So after you kill a big army like that, you want to put some pressure on right away, because that was probably a big chunk, and now you wanna test, like you want to see what he has, you know, because you may be able to like overrun him somewhere. Doesn't have bloodlines, so this is good. I'm glad you're finally moving in, keeping some pressure on, and now you can actually observe where his 2 golds are too, right? He has one here and he has one over here, so earlier in the game this would have been a good raiding point, or even now as well. So you have the resources, you want to make sure you have ballistics at this point as well. Oh, you are getting it, so nice. Good. Okay, he's got a TC there. But earlier when your army was here, like just sending a few cav archers out, getting some in behind here earlier in the game, etc. This would be a very good place for a siege workshop, or even right here, so you can keep the pressure and keep him off 1 gold. Because right now I think you had a bigger army, right? Like he was running back. So that would have been a good time to maybe, if he's scared of you and he's hiding behind you, it's a great time to build a siege workshop up front. Make sure you get So as this is happening, I'm gonna check your TCs. See, so there's, I think what's happening is whenever you focus on your military, this is what's happening. You're forgetting about the TCs here. I mean, like, how you played your Dark Age was so good. Like, you set yourself up for, like, success for this whole game, man. It was definitely... If I would have walked away at one point early in the game, I would have said Blue's going to win 100%. So right now, it would be... It's tough to, like, analyze from here on because so much has affected... Like, there's so much beforehand that's affecting where you're at right now. So, like, the TCs being idle, and then once you have army, make sure you're raiding. Make sure you kind of maybe have an outpost here, kind of cover your spots, getting that tower here so it allows you to raid. When he's being a chicken and, you know, hiding behind here because he doesn't want to fight you, it's a great time to maybe bring in a siege workshop here because you know you can keep him off this gold, and it's really nice being able to siege their ranges. People, like, it's irritating when you lose your ranges, right? Like, you got to build new ones, and then he's forced to fight you because he doesn't want to lose his ranges. And if you force him to fight you when your army was bigger here, that's perfect. But from here on, oh, now you're getting bow saw. You probably just realized you're probably like, oh crap. So, yeah, I think you knew. I think you knew he was heading here earlier. I can't remember what happened a minute ago, but I think he ran somewhere this way. I think you probably should have followed up on these guys here, because I just don't see. I just didn't see any good rating points. Like if you were to send cavalry archers out or anything, I think maybe following up on these guys would have been best. Okay, and then this castle. It's not bad. I mean, it is a little in the back. It's not really protecting too much of the front golds. I think maybe, you know, right here, so that way it's protecting this gold. It's out front. Getting your castles a little bit more out front really helps. Yes. Okay, nice. Just a little worried at first about that. So again, you have the Ville difference. I mean, this isn't terrible. Oh boy. So yeah, let's just stop it there. Okay, you're saying GG anyways. So yeah, to take away, Dark Age was perfect. You forced a fight with your man-at-arms with the scouts. It's awesome. You had early ranges. Build a second lumber at some point in early feudal age. With the map this open, you did the right thing by getting stone. You did the right thing by building a tower here. I'd recommend getting a tower on your main gold too, because you're going to be getting a lot of stone. By having this covered and this covered, this allows you to be able to raid while having an open map. And then the other huge takeaway is focus on, you know, your TCs, making sure they're not idle, because you actually end up killing tons of his vills, but in the end he ended up having more vills than you. And another thing that I haven't pointed out is you had a mix of knights, and he didn't actually fully go skirms. If you're going to use knights, try and pick out those skirms earlier, and don't keep adding knights, because in the end you'll usually find that usually the person going full CA will beat somebody who only has like 8 knights and the rest CA. But knight CA mixes do work actually at some point. Hey, Arrow, thanks a lot, man.
Do you have time to look at another game tonight?
Yeah, sure, man. Let me see. Send me a link. If you see me online, send me a voobly link, and I can take a look. If you guys enjoyed this, thank you for the 15. What was I saying? Sometimes the mix of knights and cavalry archers can be really tough. That's really hard to explain when to mix knights and cavalry archers, but in this situation I think just sticking strictly with cav archers would have helped you. And then the other point was you had your army sitting here for a while, like 40 of them. Start raiding a little bit earlier. Have a good night, genius. start raiding a little bit earlier and try and rely on your reproduction to save you if he ends up raiding you somewhere else. But then at least you'll be attacking him somewhere, right? If he sends an army to you, whatever, you're going to have an army in him too. So you're going to have an exchange, and hopefully you'll have a bigger army building at home to take it out. In a sense, in AOC, you kind of want to be making the first move and always having the other person reacting. So by waiting here, you're just kind of letting him do the first move. And you actually did take him out when he brought his army here. And once you take out an army like that and you just massacre it, push forward. And you did later. You did get a little bit quicker and then get a siege workshop out front, especially on his main gold. So yeah, I hope that helped, man.